Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. Um, Today, we're concentrating on dimensioning, how to properly dimension a drawing and how not to. So, make sure that you read chapter 7 of your book. And for this assignment, turn to page 441. Now, when we look at the drawing, it's going to be CAD201-28. It's P7-22. It's a metric drawing. So we're going to click on metric here, pick standard millimeter IPT, and then hit create. Now, we will start the drawing here. Before I do, I'm going to just click just like that. And I'm looking, I think I will select the XY plane. And by doing so, I'm probably just going to do a rectangle here. And I'm looking at the drawing and seeing how it's put together. That's important, by the way. I just do a rectangle like this. I'm going to dimension, and it looks like it's 100 millimeters long. Okay, we'll click that, and then the width of it appears to be about 40. Okay, we'll finish that, and then we will extrude that. The extrusion on that one is 10, which is the default. That's good. And then we'll hit the home. So we got the base done. Remember using Boolean construction, which the software is based on that. You always want to add your geometry before you take away from. And that's a rule of thumb. Okay, so next we'll rotate around. Okay, and I want to do a sketch on this surface. Okay, and then I'm going to do just like a rectangle here, lock it into the bottom like that. Now the width on that up there is 40. Now, even though these are dimensions I'm putting on the drawing, these are for the model. They will not show up on the drawing itself. Okay, now looking at this, it doesn't show whether it is centered or not, but I believe that it is. So if this is 100 and this is 40, that means from here to here should be 30, right? And so we have that. Now the height of the object, we're looking, so we got 10 from the bottom, and then we got from the top of the bottom to the bottom of this coming up part is 40, so that's 50. And 50 plus the 15 is 65 millimeters. Okay, that's important. So we'll go 65. All right, we're ready to finish our sketch, right? Now, we're going to extrude that section, and yeah, it is going that way, and looking at it, it's 10 millimeters also. So far, so good. Now, the next thing is I'm going to do a 2D sketch right here. Yep. And then we'll do a triangle, because it starts right here and goes over to here. But the only thing we really need to mention on this is how thick is that part? And it's 15. Okay, and then we'll finish that sketch, see, and then it's going to extrude out. Now we look at the overall length, it is 55, and this one section back here is 10, so we want to extrude that out. 55 minus 10, which is 45, and then we hit OK. So our part the geometry has now been created. The only thing we need to do now is to take away some holes. So we'll start with a sketch. We'll start on the bottom if you want to. And I'll go here. Now, here's the thing. You can put 3 circles in here. You can extrude them and subtract them, and that will give you your holes. But when you go to dimension, and this chapter is about dimensioning, it will not put all of the thread notes in there. So I recommend that you come up here and put 3 points in here. Okay? And then let's dimension the location of those points. We'll come over to the first one. We'll bring that dimension out. And that first dimension is 20. Okay. Now from that one over to the next one, we'll bring that dimension down. And if you notice, from the outside of one to the outside of the other is 2 times 30. So this will be 30. And from here to the next one, there we go. That should be 30 also. These don't matter stacked up because they're not going on the drawing. The dimensioning part is for the drawing. Now, if we look at it, this is 40. The dimension from here to here is 20. Okay, and then from here to here, that's 20 also. And then from here to here, that's 20. Okay, and they all were. Okay, so next we go to finish sketch. And then we go to hole. Okay, now mind you, it's because there's none other to choose from, it's already selected these 3. Now let's look at this. It says that there is a diameter of 20. Well, that's the distance from one side to the other going through the center, right? And it looks like it goes all the way through. So instead of distance here, we'll go through all. Okay, that looks good. And everything else is good. We'll hit OK. Awesome. You're doing a great job. Now, next, we will come up and we'll select right here on this surface. Okay. And we'll put a point there. We'll make a point of it, right? And looking at the dimensions from this corner down here up to here, well, that's 20. And it's 40 wide. Now, it doesn't show that it's in the center. We'll assume for this drawing it would be. Sometimes in the book you'll find that there are just dimensions missing. But basically what we've done is we've centered this. So we'll come back up here to hole. And looking at that dimension, it looks larger than the diameters of 20 down there. Noticing it's not dimensioned. But if you look at the top, it says 20 into 2 holes. So I'm going to tell you to go ahead and make that hole 30 because the top hole is 30. And it is larger than it looks like that. Now, if you're designing this in your shop, you'll absolutely know. Now we're going to come over here and we're going to click on the top. And we'll do point again. This time, eyeball it about where you're at there. And then we'll dimension. Now from the side, it's going to be 20 if you'll remember. Because it's 40 wide and we're centering it. Now the location from the front looks like it goes 25 back. Meaning from here over to here, that's 25. Okay. And then we'll finish that sketch. We're going to put a hole there. Yep, 30, that's what we want. Well, instead of it going all the way down because we've got it through all, let's make it a distance. And on the distance, it looks like it went down 15. Let's make it 16. and then we'll hit OK. Looks good. Now you'll come up here and we'll pause.